All right. Hey guys, welcome back to Some Crypto. In today's content, we'll talk about BTC. We'll take a look at Bitcoin on a macro basis and what type of price action we could be anticipating over the next like a few weeks or even like a few months, right? Going into 2025, right? So as you can see over the last few months since like the peak back in March 2024, right? You can see like BTC been moving sideways, right, in a very bearish pattern, lower lows and lower highs. Most bears been coming out and saying like we're gonna dump below 30k and all that good stuff. However, price action still been moving sideways, right? So what we're looking at right now is like a potential breakout above the trend line resistance right here, just about like a 67 to 69k, depending on how you're gonna draw your trend line. Okay, if you want to draw it subjectively, right, you could say, hey, you know, the trend line resistance has been taken out and we're getting a weekly close above the upper level boundary, which is somewhere around like a 65.5 right here. I was actually bullish like late September, was anticipating a breakout in early October. However, after the breakout above the weekly 21 EMA, BTC came back down to retest the weekly 21 EMA, and now it is back up above the trend line resistance, right, after a massive support from the weekly 21 EMA. However, one thing we could be trying to keep an eye on over the next like a few weeks is like the weekly MACD. The weekly MACD, it is still not closing positive, right? Meaning like we have to close strongly the weekly candle in order for the weekly MACD to cross positive. But as of now, it looks great. So we will see if, you know, BTC will close above 67, 68k, right, for this week. Okay, we got 24 hours to go. It is October 19th, 2024, and we will get a new candle, you know, October 21st, right, 2024. So keep an eye on the weekly MACD. In terms of the RSI, nothing to say in terms of bearishness. It looks great. It is above the trend line resistance, so we just have to wait and see over the next like a few weeks if the trend line if the RSI will basically escape a retest of the trend line support. If not, it could be retesting the 79 to 85 range, in terms of the RSI level. Okay, so that's the only thing we need to keep an eye on in terms of the weekly time frame. So now let's take a look at BTC on a monthly basis. So on a monthly basis, the only thing we need in terms of indicator regarding the monthly time frame, right, it is the monthly 21 EMA, right? So we've been saying it over the last few months, right? We said as long as BTC is above the monthly 21 EMA, most likely the bull market will continue. However, if we break below the monthly 21 EMA, we could say, hey, we got 80% chance of being in a bear market, right? But you know, we're still above the monthly 21 EMA, so we could still say like, hey, the wave 5 continuation, it is still ongoing, and potentially our wave 4 correction is actually done. Okay, so that could be our wave 4 correction started since like March, and now it is October, and we could be breaking out above some crazy prices over the next like a few weeks and so on. Okay, so now let's take a look at BTC in terms of the quarterly time frame. So in terms of the quarterly basis, as I've been saying, just have to stay bullish, right, between 70k down to the high, let's say high 50s, okay, mid 50s, give or take, right? So even though most bears been calling for some crazy prices, we said it is going to be challenging for BTC to retest the yearly low. Okay, so the yearly low somewhere around like 42k. If we take a look at it on a 6-month basis, you can see like the yearly low somewhere around like a 38k, right? So and most bears been saying like, hey, we're going to be dumping down to 42 and all that good stuff. 42 was the yearly open, right? So, and I stay actually very bullish over the last few months, saying like, hey, the likelihood of retesting the yearly open is very, very low after making a new all-time high and all that good stuff. So you take a look at the 6-month time frame. We talk about it back in back in late 2022. You got to be buying BTC 18 months before the halving, not after the halving, right? So if you've been following our channel long enough, you should be already in and just waiting for the 4-year cycle to get the job done and all that good stuff. Okay, so but if you go back on a quarterly basis, it looks pretty similar to our Q3 2023 when we move sideways, and most bears been saying like, okay, we're gonna drop down to 50, 15k and all that good stuff, and BTC broke out above 50k. As you can see right here, consolidation, and we could be expecting some higher prices over the next like a few weeks or even like a few months, right? So now let's go ahead and take a look at BTC versus gold, right? So even though BTC been moving sideways, and even though BTC been moving sideways over the last few weeks or even like a few months, right? Gold been breaking out to the upside, right? And BTC been dropping against gold, right? So what we're expecting over the next like a few weeks is like a potential at least retest of the top, which is somewhere around like a 33, 34 right here. Okay, BTC gold chart, right? So just to break out to the yearly high again, not all-time high, but back to the yearly high, BTC has to break out 37 to 40%, okay, versus gold, right? So if we go back to the BTC USD chart, just to break out 40% from here could take us roughly around like a 95, 96k area, right? So which is basically what we've been saying over the last few months, right? We could be breaking out back, we could be breaking out above all-time high and test like a 95 to a 105k area and all that good stuff. Okay, so keep an eye on the chart. Yes, you could still say like, hey, BTC, it is still bearish against gold because we're still below the weekly 21 EMA. However, if we break out, if we close above the weekly 21 EMA this week and close another candle above the weekly 21 EMA versus gold, we could be highly convinced, okay, BTC most likely going to be breaking out 40% against gold and potentially more, more than 40% against more than 40% against USD. Okay, so now let's go ahead and take a look at the BTC dominance, right? So the BTC dominance, as we've been saying also on on a monthly basis, right? We've been saying like the BTC dominance could be retesting somewhere around like a 63 to 64%. Okay, so 63, it is going to be somewhere around the monthly 100 EMA, and 64 going to be somewhere around the 0.786, right? So what does it mean? It means like even though BTC could break out, up to like 100k, right? Some of these alt could still be down like a 90% from their all-time high. We've seen it back in back in 2020 or 2021, right? If we take a look at ADA USDT, right? ADA USDT back in November 2020, you can see ADA was somewhere around 9 cents, okay? And the previous all-time high for ADA was somewhere around like a 130, right? So you can see ADA was like 93% down, right? From its all-time high when BTC was already above 20k, right? So something to basically keep in mind, just because like BTC going to be breaking out or could be breaking out over the next like a few weeks, doesn't mean like alt will break out right away. However, if we go back to the USDT, not the USDT dominance, but the BTC dominance, right? We could be expecting the BTC dominance to capitulate over the next like a few weeks, especially in early 2025, and that could send most of these alt to like to some crazy prices. Not all of them will break out, but we could see like some massive pump in most alt, right? So something to keep in mind over the next like a few weeks, right? So now let's take a look at the USDT dominance, right? So when we take a look at the USDT dominance, we've been saying like, hey, the USDT dominance, it is making some higher highs and higher lows, so it is a bullish pattern. However, we've seen it before back in 2023, and if you guys recall, back in October 2023, what we said, we're going to be capitulating all the way down to a 3.8, and that's exactly what happened. Okay, what are we looking at right now? It is a similar pattern to what we seen before back in October 2023. So we're expecting a potential breakout back down to like a 3.8. Could it break below 3.8? Absolutely. Okay, but we'll take a look at it once we take out the 3.8 and all that good stuff, right? All right, guys, thanks a lot for watching. That's all I wanted to cover for BTC. It is October 19th, 2024.